Hey y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin-baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
In Louisiana, a rash of robberies taking place at ATMs leads to a crash and apprehension of one of 2 suspects. In Missouri, a convicted felon who bail jumped and murdered a police officer is sentenced to life in prison. And in Texas, arrest is made weeks after a 61-year-old's body is found in a ditch. These stories and more coming at you today, Thursday, July 11th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. I'll be glad when I get off these antibiotics.
Yeah, should be
couple more
getting
weeks.
Close, huh? Couple more weeks still.
Yep. It's strong as shit, man.
Feeling better?
I feel great. I like the last couple. Yeah, I throw up probably twice a week from these antibiotics, and that's how strong they are. But, I don't catch you just right with eating or not eating, but I feel a million times better, bro.
Really? That's good.
But then I got to go back to the doctor to have my blood done. I get done this round of medicine, make sure that poisonous shit ain't in my blood anymore. But I'm good, and I'm ready for
Feel like a new man.
Right? I'm ready for some true crime time for Thirsty Thursday.
All right, and we're going to start off in New Orleans. And two Nolans men are wanted for armed robbery have been arrested. The St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office and Mandeville Police Department issued warrants for those two men accused of armed robbery. And let me tell you what they were doing.
What are they doing?
On June 26 and June 28, Mandeville police said two victims reported they were robbed at an ATM at the Capital One Bank in Mandeville. Once authorities obtained surveillance videos of one of the robberies, they were able to link the cases to similar robberies that have happened in other parishes. Those parishes include St. Tammany, Orleans, and Jefferson Parish. So you're talking 5 separate incidents with same people. On Wednesday, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office deputies saw a car that matched the description of the one seen in the robberies, and the vehicle was spotted at a bank in Jefferson Parish. Probably caught him right before. Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office deputies attempted to make a traffic stop when a chase began. That chase actually reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Damn. The car crashed inside the city limits of Slidell, which ended that chase. Officers then continued to search for the driver and passenger of the car on foot. Of course, several police agencies joined in, and canines located the men in a nearby wooded area. Police were able to catch the passenger, Vondell Newsom, who is 26, and he was taken into custody and booked into the Jefferson Parish Jail. The driver, Leonard Howard III, 20, was not caught, but later he did turn himself into St. Tammany detectives. Newsom has arrest warrants from St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office for armed robbery and misdemeanor flight, and Howard had arrest warrants from St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office for armed robbery, aggravated flight, and resisting an officer. So they have been captured, but it made me think about the safety issues with, people when they go to banks. You talk about having your head on a swivel and all that, no matter where you're at.
Right.
But even, I do find myself at ATMs, no matter what time of day it is. If I'm getting out of the car, even if I'm in the car, I'm looking around, because what these guys were doing was a little different than what you would think. They weren't getting out and holding you at gunpoint. One of them would block your way out, and they would choose banks that only have one way in and one way out, which they're not supposed to have. They're supposed to have two. But they would choose banks where you would have no option except for to just stand there. Then they would get out of the car with the gun where you could not drive off.
Yeah. I'm wondering, in the last episode, we talked about the guy that wanted to get 1 cent out of the bank. So they're basically hidden people. They know were coming out and withdraw.
Yeah.
What if they were only getting 1 penny? And they having a bad day.
A bad day. Pick the wrong one to rob.
Right.
Golly, man. Because I guess you never know.
Yeah,
it might be someone with $20 in the bank.
Exactly.
You're like, dude, I need to rob you.
Right. And so, but maybe they, that's what they do, and fuck them.
Well, and you need to be very, and I'm sure most people know this, but be very aware when you're at ATMs, because everybody that sees you at an ATM knows one thing: you're withdrawing money.
Right. Especially those ones, and I imagine this is what they're talking about in the story, where it's in the lobby after hours. Not the lobby, outside lobby. We got
almost like the Sally Port of a bank.
Yeah. And always have your head on a swivel, and they're not going to hit you if you're aware and just looking around.
That's right.
So let's go to Fort Bend County, Texas.
I hadn't heard of that.
Right. And a man has been arrested after a 61-year-old's body was found by construction workers in a ditch in Needville in June, and it's according to the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office. On Tuesday, 33-year-old Emilio Cruz Jr. was arrested and charged with failure to stop and render aid in connection to Enrique Godinez's death. Investigators said Godinez's family filed a missing report with the Roseburg Police Department on May 28 after he had been missing since May the 19th. Officials responded to the incident on June 11th at around 1:13 p.m. In Needville. Deputies saw debris from a car nearby as well as a broken bicycle when they arrived on scene. Now, Godinez's body was taken to the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office for autopsy. And furthermore, investigators said that a Lamar CISD police officer had reported an accident in the area on May 24th. Now, authorities say an FBCSO deputy arrived at the scene and spoke to the driver of the stalled vehicle. According to deputies, Cruz, who's the driver of the stalled vehicle, was named a person of interest in the case. Cruz was arrested and booked into the Fort Bend County Jail, et cetera. Now, let me tell you about this. I had a case on the defense side. Recently, it happened right outside the gates of LSU. This guy was at home, and he's a young kid, recent college graduate, had a condo, had a good job working for one of these plants or something, and he had a company vehicle. But he had gone to Louisiana Tech, and he had a friend who was from Saudi Arabia that was one of his frat brothers in Louisiana Tech, and the frat brother was still up there partying and doing bad drugs and kind of shit like that. And he was like, I'm gonna get him down here and try to sober him up a little bit. You know, he was letting him sleep on his couch and stuff like that. He said it was a Sunday night around 2:00 in the morning, I guess early Monday morning, and the friend came in the room and said, hey man, get up. I think I hit something with my car. I hit the ditch with my car, and he said, "Where's your car at?" He said, "It's up on the levee, off of Brightside somewhere down in that area." He said, but being a good friend, he got up and he said, "Come and help me get my car." And he got up and drove the guy back to the levee. He said when he was going the levee, and it's all dark out there, and he's going down to the levee, he sees lights up on the levee. And y'all, if you're not from Louisiana or South Louisiana levees, these fucking levees are big. Yeah. They're like 20, 30 feet up on a slope. He said he sees these car lights up on the side of the levee, and he sees all this debris and trash in the road. And he said, "Bro, is that your fucking car?" He said, "Did you hit something?" And the guy from Saudi says, "Oh, I don't know. I don't think I hit anything." And he said, "Man, fuck this." He said, "I'm not getting involved in this." He turned around and drove back to his apartment. And he said there was shit in the road, debris and what have you, but he didn't see a body, right? Yeah. He said the next afternoon or the day after that, he gets a call from another friend of theirs, a female friend of theirs at Louisiana Tech. And she said, "Have you heard from whatever his name was, the guy from Saudi?" And he said, "No." She said, "Well, he got a private jet out yesterday. His daddy flew a private jet in to get him. And then it came up, they found a body on the levee." All right. So the guy from Saudi, when his friend wouldn't help, he was like, "Fuck, there's nothing I can do for you. Your car's up there. I got to go to work in the morning, what have you." And anyway, long story short, I got involved in the case and proved that he did not know that there was a body attached to the car. Yeah. And his brother was a lawyer and was a friend of my friend that's a lawyer. And he called his brother when he found out there was a body and the kid had fled the country. He was like, "Holy fuck, what I did." He said, "Well, if the cops show up, don't say anything. We'll walk you through the process." Well, the cops showed up with a search warrant, and of course they didn't find anything at the condo. Long story short, he got charged with vehicular homicide. No, I'm talking about the kid that didn't have any involvement. The friend, look, if you came to my house 2:00 in the morning and said, "Woody, I wrecked my shit. It's up on the side of the levee. Come get me right back and help me get out." I'm gonna help you. Yeah. Right? I'm gonna think, well, maybe we can tow this motherfucker off, and you don't get a DWI or whatever because the guy was fucked up. Yeah. You don't get a DWI or whatever. Doesn't make it right, but we ended up going to the DA, and I was give the polygraph results and talk to the investigators. And they answered some pretty hard questions for the kid. And they ended up dropping charges on him, and he's going to testify against the guy from Saudi Arabia if he ever comes back.
Yeah, he ain't coming back.
Anyway, same kind of thing here. This guy hit him and left the scene, but he got stopped.
Yeah.
Now, right past where it had happened, the cop that stopped him didn't know there was a body in the ditch.
Sure.
Yeah. So
wow. And there's Saudi princes and stuff like man. Yeah, got stupid money over there.
And he wasn't supposed to be over here drinking and doing drugs.
He called daddy quick.
That's against their religion.
Wow.
Right?
That's right.
And he just hauled fucking ass.
Yep. All right. Well, I can't wait to get your take on this story I'm about to tell you. And this is straight out of Louisiana Penitentiary to Angola.
What?
A federal judge is giving Louisiana State Penitentiary a week to come up with a plan to protect prisoners working outside from extreme heat condition after advocates sued the Department of Corrections in June. Judge Brian Jackson issued a temporary restraining order that will prevent Angola officials from sending prisoners to work the farm line when heat index values reach or exceed 88 degrees. The state
88
must
degrees.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, they might as well work in January.
Yeah.
The state must send a memorandum detailing its proposed solutions. He issued his ruling on a day when the heat index was 118. Former inmate Terrence Wim was incarcerated at Angola for over 30 years, and he described the harsh conditions as working like a mule. If a horse falls out, you're going to come in. That's the only way you're going to come in. In his opinion, Jackson argued Angola fails to meet the minimum federal and state requirements for heat safety. The wealth of evidence here shows that incarcerated persons laboring on the farm line are not provided with shade, sunscreen, or required rest breaks. Further, the declarations from named plaintiffs uniformly provide that the breaks are seldomly given, that the water is dirty that they provide, and they are required to work beyond their physical capabilities, and that they are not provided with other necessary protective equipment. Linda Wright, an associate director of civil litigation at Promise of Justice Initiative and one of the attorneys for the plaintiffs, praised the ruling. Of course she would. And she said today's ruling is a validation that the unconstitutional, inhumane conditions of forced labor that exist at Louisiana State Penitentiary will no longer stand unchallenged. The state prison system says it will appeal to the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and the ruling comes as most of the state remains under either an extreme heat advisory, etc. West Feliciana Parish is under an excessive heat warning, meaning heat index values exceed 113 degrees. That changes from day to day,
right.
But what do you think?
I mean, they've been doing this for 142 years.
100 at least.
Do you remember the episode we did on Bloody Angola where they filed a suit because it was too hot on death row?
Yep.
And Burrow
washed down the walls, took a water hose
to get the temperature down before the inspectors came in. But I'm awesome. Pretty sure every one of those fuck sticks are out there for rape and murder, and you don't get sent to Angola unless you usually get 80 years or more. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm pretty sure. And
if you're working the line, you're not a trustee either.
No, yeah, you're going to do your first 10 years working the line.
Yeah.
And but you're going to be there till you die. And, I get them filing lawsuits and all that, whatever. Judge Brian Jackson is pretty tough dude.
Yeah.
And they're going to look at it objectively, and I'm sure they'll give them more breaks and whatever. But you know what? It's big business, Hoss. They grow all that shit for not only Angola, but for the Louisiana prison system, all the prisons. There's a lot of them. All the vegetables and all the milk and all that bullshit comes from Angola.
And let me tell you, if you're waiting for it to be 88 degrees or less,
you can see it. Fuck.
They're not working in the summertime.
Yeah,
every day it's over 88 degrees.
Like squirrel season starts October 1, and there's a lot of days I can't even squirrel hunt in October.
Yeah.
At the end of October because it's 90 degrees. Yeah.
And honestly, they've come along. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
it was 100 years ago, they were putting them in sweat boxes. Remember?
Yeah. And if you died, they just got another inmate. I'm not, whatever. I don't believe anybody should be tortured, but you know what? I don't believe anybody should be raped and murdered either.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I don't know if you call it torture.
We'll keep you posted on it, but
pretty sure if you don't want to be out there working in the field, you shouldn't have raped and murdered.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be. I'll probably get some slack for that, but I don't really give a fuck about those assholes. Because I put them there, some of them, and I know what they did.
Yep.
Let's go. I can't get out of Texas, probably because of Leah Marie. But let's go to Rosenberg, Texas. And a man who was involved with a standoff with a SWAT team at a hotel in Rosenberg is accused of flooding the entire hotel during the standoff, causing millions of dollars worth of damage. Now, this dude evidently has been to prison before. You heard me talking about.
Yeah, he knows the process.
You go flood, you're on the working cell block, and you give them another charge. You got to take them out, put them on admin seg tier. They flood their cells, so they thinks it's going to give them a better chance of fighting, right?
Yep.
But anyway, the Rosenberg Police Department said on Friday, June 28th, officers responded to a reported robbery at the Motel 6, where we leave the light on for you. When officers arrived, Landon Blaine Hutchins, 46 of Gonzales, not Louisiana, made threats against them and barricaded himself in a room. And he claimed to have multiple firearms and a child hostage, right? Let's see how this works out for him. While officers assessed the situation and evacuated the hotel, residents, and staff, Hutchinson began to cause extensive damage to his room. Throughout the incident, he continued to damage his room and ultimately flooded the entire hotel. The Fort Bend Regional SWAT team responded to the scene and determined Hutchinson was not holding the child hostage, and he refused to cooperate with negotiators. Not going in well for this motherfucker.
No.
SWAT members forcibly entered the room and took Hutchinson into custody, probably forcibly on all that. The department said the initial estimates show that Hutchinson may have caused more than $3 million in damage to the hotel. He was charged with a terroristic threat against a peace officer, arson, and criminal mischief greater than $300K. Let me tell you something. I'm not against, like, if I'm driving in Wisconsin or something, or if I'm hauling ass somewhere and I get too tired to sleep or whatever, I'm not against pulling over like at a Motel 6, spending $80, to get 4 hours sleep and running on. I'm pretty sure there's not a fucking Motel 6 out there that costs $3 million.
Right? No, there ain't one.
It must have been a big
Motel 6
Motel
about
6.
to get recessed lighting up in there. Leather couches and shit. Insurance paying for
$3
it.
million. I guess he fucking kicked the pipes or something that flooded room to room to room. I don't fucking know.
And explain to the listeners here how you would flood a cell if you're an inmate.
They take the clothing off and shove it into the toilet and flush it. And there's like the airplane toilets. And they get it stuck in there, and then they keep hitting the flush button. The water keeps coming in. They turn on sink water. They'll stop it up too, and it just floods over. Oh, it floods. When you walk on the tier, you can see the whole fucking tier's flooded down.
That'll piss you off.
No,
man.
it's a day at the office, motherfucker. We gonna win.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do?
Yeah.
And now I get to come in there with electronic shock you shield in the water and see
beat that ass.
First one go down there and spray you and let that take effect for a few minutes, and then but now you can't do all that. All that shit's on camera now.
Yeah.
Not the swim. Someone,
not that you would know.
I have
Swim
any direct knowledge about that.
Right.
Somebody wants to sue me. But
well, we're going to get to a more serious story here, and we're going to bring you to St. Louis. And a 47-year-old man will spend the rest of his life behind bars for fatally shooting a police officer, critically injuring another, and wounding a homeless man. June 27th, a judge sentenced Thomas Kenworthy to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the August 2020 murder of St. Louis Metro Police Officer Tamaris Bohannon. A jury convicted him in May of murder, armed criminal action, and assault for shooting and severely injuring a St. Louis Metro officer by the name of Orlando Bailey, and Mark Smith, a homeless man who was rummaging through dumpsters in the area. Smith died in 2023 from an unrelated cause. According to prosecutors, Kenworthy came to St. Louis in 2020 after he had jumped bail in Florida. Several days.
Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
Later, the convicted felon reportedly shot Smith, who sought help at a nearby residence and had the homeowners call law enforcement. The DA's office said Kenworthy walked into the home and the owner safely exited through the back. Kenworthy reportedly barricaded himself inside the bathroom armed with a gun. When officers responded, Kenworthy fired a single shot through the bathroom and hit Bohannon in the head. Officers transported Bohannon to the hospital and he died the following day. Kenworthy also reportedly shot Bailey, striking him in the leg when he tried to protect himself behind a vehicle. A police standoff ensued for approximately 12 hours as negotiators tried to convince Kenworthy to surrender. The SWAT team used a chemical irritant before they eventually forced entry and took Kenworthy into custody. Police announced Kenworthy's arrest in September of 2020 on first-degree murder, and Bohannon's family members, including his parents, sisters, wife, and their children, made impact statements during the hearing describing their grief. The attorney's office said Kenworthy didn't take responsibility, and he never apologized to Bohannon's family. He reportedly lashed out verbally at prosecutors. So he will spend the rest of his life in jail, which is probably the best thing that can happen to him. I'm surprised there's no death penalty here.
Should be.
But I'll tell you, showing no remorse, absolutely none.
Remorse.
As he was sentenced and was jumping bail. That's how he ended up in that situation.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's why they build prisons, and that's why they have the death penalty, right?
Yeah. It surprised me, Woody, that this is an incident involving a police officer, and we know that becomes something that is pushed in the media very heavily, and not that any one person is more important than another. All humans' lives are valuable, but when it's a police officer, it dominates headlines
because that's what pushing it out, and it just how it is. Right?
Yeah, I'm surprised it took so long. Yeah. August of 2020. So you're right smack in the middle of COVID. I guess that's what slowed everything down. But 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know
before that family even saw that, you don't see justice, but they saw this person have to pay for it. But I'm glad they did.
Right. And it never brings them back, I don't know. I don't know. We were just talking about the guy that got hit in Texas in the case that I had worked, et cetera. And, I want to tell you about one more. And we're going back to Texas again.
Tejas.
And this is recent. A man was arrested and charged in connection with a fatal hit and run incident that resulted in the death of the 10-year-old boy on the 4th of July. Alex Tuan Bong, 36, has been charged with failure to stop and render aid, which is a second-degree felony. The incident happened shortly before 11 p.m. on July the 4th. That's according to Harris County Sheriff's Office. Again, that's the Houston area, y'all. And that's according to their Vehicular Crimes Division. Vaughn was driving an SUV north on Concord Green when he struck the young boy who was riding his bicycle. Instead of stopping to assist the injured child, Vaughn fled the scene, dragging the bicycle for a short distance before it became dislodged, which is throwing sparks and all that. Responding officers found the boy lying in the intersection of Windy Stone and Concord Green. The little boy was airlifted to a trauma center via life flight, where Captain Kenneth Bean says he died from his injuries moments later. Detectives located the boy's bicycle at Greenhouse in Keith Harrow, approximately a half mile from the crash scene. And Wong has been charged, unless he admits to it or some witness comes forward. I guess we won't catch the murder charge, but they can identify with forensics and everything else. Should he drag the bike for a half a mile, they're going to have the damage and the stuff that matches up with the bike. And the
half a mile, man. That's a long way.
I guess he was real fucked up, or he just scared and didn't care. Wow. Prayers go out to the young boy's family, the 10-year-old's family.
Yeah, definitely. We talk about, or you talk about, especially on working cases from the inside out as it relates to family, and then you go to friends, and then you go to acquaintances, and when you have these murders and these disappearances and things like that. And, a lot of times, even though the husband had nothing to do with it, you start there.
Right.
Absolutely. The last person that saw them alive in most cases.
Start somewhere, right?
Right. So an Arizona man who reported his wife missing last week has confessed to killing her and pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. A guy by the name of Daniel Padjewski, who is 58, told police that his wife, Kelly, never returned from a run and a swim in what Flagstaff Police Department said Friday was an attempt to misdirect police resources. That's a very politically correct way of putting it.
Right.
Send him on a wild goose chase is what I would probably verbalize that as. But he was arrested Monday for aggravated assault, and his wife's remains were found on Friday morning following a nearly week-long search effort. Daniel Podolsky pled guilty to second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, concealment of a dead body, and possession of dangerous drugs, that from the county sheriff's office. Tunick said the plea deal requires Podolsky to serve a 16-year term in the Arizona Department of Corrections. I was really surprised to see that short term. That was a heck of a deal for Podolsky. Which is the presumptive sentence for second-degree murder under Arizona law. Another surprise. Second-degree murder here is automatic life, no parole, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He added that he won't be eligible for early release of any kind. As part of that agreement, the defendant provided information leading us to Kelly Podolsky, the deceased victim, including her phone, keys, and murder weapon. Investigators previously said that on Sunday, June 30th, the day that Kelly went missing, cell phone data from Kelly's phone was traced back to the area of the Schultz Creek trailhead, where Daniel was seen in the area around the same time on the same day. Police also interviewed family members and other witnesses throughout the course of the investigation and determined earlier this week that evidence from their house showed that he had assaulted her. This is obviously a monumental tragedy for Kelly's family and her loved ones, the police department said. We have been in close communication with Kelly's family throughout the process, which we pursued to bring finality to a situation that weighed heavily on the community. So, this one really struck me as something to report, obviously, because of the short, 16 years is nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing for murder.
Yeah.
So that really pissed me off, kind of. And then, the only sense I can make out of that is it sounds like they're saying it as part of that plea bargain. He led us to the body.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess they get some not closure, but
did they talk to the families about this first and say, hey, we can probably find that, get him to lead us to that body, but we're going to have to give him a light sentence.
They certainly would have talked to the family, and I'm sure the family is happy to have the body for burial, and there'll be no appeals now and all that. Right?
Yeah.
Because he took the plea bargain. So it's 16 years. And how old was this guy?
He was, I believe they said 54.
So that's
58.
So
58.
that's 68 and 6. 74. It's pretty much a death penalty.
Pretty much.
The rest of his life is done.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. You don't never know with plea bargains, but yeah, they definitely would have consulted the family. So.
I'm surprised they don't. It seems like their second degree murder
different everywhere.
Yeah, right? It just seems light, man.
Different everywhere. It's crazy. But you are usually the one who comes up with these stories about new scams and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. But I think I got one for you.
All right.
Stop me if you've done it or you've heard it. So let's go out to Colorado. And a trio of depraved armed robbers posing as delivery men barged into a Colorado family's home and attacked 2 children in what could be an alarming new trend. So that's what the police say. The expert says.
Yeah.
The kids' anguished parents, who were not at home at the time of the June 12th home invasion, witnessed the fake delivery men enter their house on a Ring doorbell. So you're getting all the technology, right? Mm-hmm. The parents are getting to see it. Can you imagine you're fucking sitting in work here?
No.
It's going to be a shit show.
Oh, my God.
The men attacked the babysitter and assaulted 2 children, a 14-year-old girl and a 6-year-old boy, and it's according to release from the Aura Police Department. It's an old crime with a new twist, said retired NYPD Sergeant Joseph Giacalone, who is a professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. These guys are always looking for a new way to get into your house, and I'm sure police are very worried about whether this is a growing pattern. A tactic criminals once used was trying to gain access to a home by posing as utility workers. However, this approach is no longer effective with workers wearing distinct uniforms and carrying ID cards. The terrifying Colorado home invasion that took place about 10 miles from downtown Denver is the latest in a string of robberies involving fake delivery workers. The ordeal unfolded a little after 8:30 p.m. One of the suspects approached the door wearing a bright orange vest and carrying a box, according to the footage of the Ring doorbell camera. They were dressed in construction vests and claimed they were there to drop a package off. The suspects were holding a package and waited for the residents of the home to open the door. The Aurora Police Department said this. And when they did, the suspects forced their way in and robbed the family. One of the people inside the home opened the door slightly, and the man wearing the vest immediately pushed his way in. He then began yelling at his two accomplices in Spanish that he had gained access. Now, the Ring camera footage showed one of the men holding what appeared to be a gun in his hand as he barged into the home, and another suspect exited a car that was idling outside to join them. The teen girl was touched inappropriately during the roughly 1 minute ransacking, which netted thieves jewelry and cash, right? The babysitter and young boy were also shoved into the ground during the break-in. The homeowners called police after being alerted to intruders by the Ring camera, and the kid's mom said her son, who can be seen crying after police arrived, is badly traumatized by the incident. You would expect that.
Of course.
Their mother said she was deeply frightened by the attack, and she fears long-term damage to the kids. Now, police departments across the country have warned homeowners to be careful about opening their doors to strangers after a spate of home invasions. A burglar posing as a DoorDash driver was killed last year in Indiana when the homeowner pulled out a gun and shot him. Sorry for him. In November,
good for that homeowner.
Right. In November, a pair of armed robbers posed as delivery men and forced their way into a New York City home to steal $70,000 in valuables. The victims were bound in duct tape. Now, a fake delivery man donned in an orange fluorescent vest and clutching a manila envelope tried to storm into a Connecticut home with a gun last year, but the owner shoved him and slammed the door. Good for him. Giacalone said the most important precaution to prevent something terrible from happening to your home family is to verify the identity of the delivery person. Look, I was outside yesterday, Saturday evening, coming and get something from the outdoor kitchen. A van pulled right up in the driveway, and then it turned out it was fucking Prime or whoever, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, he said if someone knocks on the door saying you need to sign for a package, request to see their ID, whether through a window, a peephole, or a door camera. Homeowners, he added, should also peer out their windows to ensure there's a UPS or Amazon truck parked nearby. Crazy.
Becoming an increasingly problematic thing. Mm-hmm. And as delivery stuff becomes more common, these occasions, of course, criminals, they look for every edge they can find. Now you can get Walmart delivered to your house. Oh, my
God. Man, I bet we get 15, 20 deliveries a week.
Yeah. And
all Walmart,
from everywhere.
All Amazon, you name it, we get it delivered.
Right. And I'll tell you what, I've got a front door, and I haven't opened that front door in probably 10 years. Yeah. Because but every delivery person knocks on that front door, and what I do, and I tell my family, if I'm not there, don't go to let them leave it. Yeah. But what I do is I literally go out my back door and walk all the way around the side of my house and come up behind
there you go.
Every single time. I've never had a problem. Yeah. But I'll guarantee you, if someone's in there to do some wrong, I'm going to see a weapon in their hand, a gun in their hand, or something. And I'm coming from behind them. And 9 times out of 10, I scare the piss out of it because I'm like, hey, and they turn around like, oh, shit. But just something I've always done, and had become a habit. So it may be something people want to look into. But I want to say something on the delivery side of what you just mentioned, because I read this the other day and it just blew my mind. Do you know that Walmart, and I know Amazon is one of them, there's some other big company that they are experimenting with doing deliveries, and they do this in several states already with drones.
I know, I saw
That's crazy, man.
I guess
the drone just drops it off and flies off.
Flies away. they have to be a big motherfucking drone to come to my house. 3 or 4 times a week, Walmart. I
He just parked the drone at your house.
And I rib Cindy all the time. I'm like, God damn, what'd you do before Walmart had delivery? It's been several years ago now, and I was watching because I get alerts from Walmart. Oh, your order is this to this. I'm like, oh. Then I got one for, it was like 2 items.
Yeah.
And then I look, and they tipped the driver like $5 fucking. But then I got to looking, it wasn't even my wife. It was my son when he was still in college, and he's using the service to order Walmart delivery. I'm like, motherfucker, you live a mile from Walmart. Get your ass in that truck I paid for and go over there and get it. But he ended up graduating. He's got a great job and everything now. But I don't know, man. I don't remember. I think I've been to Walmart like maybe once during hunting season or something in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean everything. In look, I tried DoorDash for the first time about 3 months ago, and I wish I never would have because now that's all I want to do.
And I have the annual membership with them, but I do it mostly for when I'm out of town in hotels. Yeah, because it's like food porn,
and you can sit there and watch it.
Coming to your house, they coming and everywhere. But I do it a lot in the hotels, and that way I don't have to fuck around with going to a restaurant or whatever. I get back to the room, have them deliver it. I mean, it seemed. Can you imagine what it was like, or can you remember what it was like fucking 20 years ago?
I do,
the internet, or 25, however long it's been. Shit, man, it may have been 30 years now.
Well, I've talked about it in the past, but I was talking about it with a buddy the other day, how Netflix started with the little paper DVDs.
I remember
that. But they would mail to your house.
You had to return them.
Yeah.
Well, I remember going to Blockbuster was my jam, or your local movie store and getting the VHS tapes.
Be packed in there.
And had like, oh man,
new movie come out, and everybody's going.
And then when Netflix just started, I'm like, this shit ain't gonna work. And then there you go. And then here we are today.
Here we are today, man, and it's the most dominating streaming service in world history.
Well, I've got all the streaming services. I got Netflix and Hulu, and Paramount, and Apple.
Amazon Prime.
Apple TV's got the shit on it, bro. They're not as well known, but they got some great shit on there.
They do. And look, my streaming service that we use at home is actually YouTube TV, which is also very good.
I have
all the live channels.
Fubo has all the live, but I keep it for sports because it has pretty much every sport event in the world on it. I mean, I'm telling you, I bet we pay way more in subscriptions than we ever paid for cable. You paid $129 for cable back in the day. You had 400 channels, but it wasn't like it is now.
You try to get the cable guy to give you a deal. Make it come on for free. Give me HBO for free. Back in the day.
But back to it, and we'll end up with this is it's like podcasts, and everybody wants on demand entertainment when they want it. It's like going to look at TikTok, which I'm not that into, but but everybody else is. Everybody in my house watching TikTok, and I need to watch, but I got so many other wormholes I'm down.
I know.
It's hard to get to the TikTok, but
I can't fit one more in my life. If another social media comes out,
that's it.
Forget it. I can't fit no more.
Keep up with the ones I got now.
Yeah, you're right. Well. Anyway. We have come to the end of another show.
For real. And we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. And thank you for liking, listening, and sharing. Y'all remember, because I get these comments. I got one from one of the longest term lifers yesterday that said, where can I find part 2 of what happened?
Yeah.
Whatever I named that episode. I'm like, or she said, do I have to pay for it? I'm like, no, it's been out a week and a half, and it's the same where. You only listen to everything else for 5 or 6 years, but the original still drops on Saturday, y'all.
On Saturday, and it's notated Real Life Real Crime Original. Let's say RLRC Original.
And that takes some getting used to, and I guess we've been doing this for a year and a half or so now, and mixing the shows on the feed and all that, but whatever. And that's it. So, love and appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Absolutely. And until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton,
your host of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.